Good morning, T-Walls. Mr. Quentin here with what we did for Wednesday, March 31st, 2021. Yes, folks, we are at the end of March. Can you believe it? The end of March tomorrow begins April, and then we've only got basically 2 months of school. All right, so what do we got going on? We are continuing our discussion of economics and our introduction overall by looking at several different types of industries. These industries contribute to our overall economic picture, and we will delve into what makes these industries possible as we move forward. So we're going to take a look at those as a broader effect, but we're also going to be taking a look at our CNN 10. That's right, folks. CNN 10 is back because it's Writing Wednesday. So we're going to jump into quarter four. We are going to head on over to week of March 29th. And as always, we're pretending we're first period, but you're going to go to your period as well. Go to Wednesday, the 31st, and you will see that we have the series again. Yes, folks, we are introducing this again as a major grade. I was kind enough to drop this as a major grade last quarter because of wanting to make sure everybody had the best chance at it. And we only needed 3 major grades, and we had 4 major grades. So I went ahead and dropped the major grade to make life easier for all of you. Now, I am changing this a little bit to help kind of inspire you to do a little better. So let's pay attention here. You'll see that this is the CNN 10 Series 1 Q4 major grade. So when we go in and take a look, I want you to note here that it does say after viewing the CNN 10, write your 7 to 10 complete and complex sentences. Again, CNN 10 says you write this quarter. So here's how this is going to work, folks. I have these marked as being due today. All right, so you can see here, due Wednesday, March 31st. But Mr. Quentin, how are we going to grade a whole series of stuff? Very simply. If you get your work in today like you're supposed to, and you've got your 7 to 10 sentences, you're going to get the points for today. And I'm giving 15 points. So 15 times 9 is going to be way more than 100 points. So this should overall give you a chance to boost yourself and get a really good grade as long as you are doing your work here. If it's late or if you don't do it, then it's a 0. And that's not going to be as fun for you, okay? So this is going to be 15 points a week over the next 9 weeks, and then hopefully we can get you to a nice major grade. So that is the plan, okay? I want to make sure you heard that here. You've got video evidence that this is what we're trying to do to make sure that you do well and that you have a good chance to help boost your grade as we end the year. So let's take a look at our CNN 10. You can see here that our alternate prompt is, what does economic innovation look like and how do you use those innovations in your everyday life? So remember when we talked about this yesterday and the day before, folks, your phone. Everybody loves to use their phones. One of the biggest things you use your phones for is texting. Remember that phones used to not have the ability to text. They could only be used for phone calls. That's right. Even cell phones originally could only be used to talk on the phone. So that progression of text messaging is an innovation, and you use that all the time in your daily life. So those are the kinds of things that we're talking about when we say, what does economic innovation look like and how do you use those innovations in your everyday life? So you can choose, talk about CNN 10 or talk about the alternate prompt. You will see that I do have the CNN 10 linked for today. So if you do need to do that, if you didn't follow along in class or you're coming in afterwards, then you can clearly follow the link here, okay? The other thing that we have going on for today is a daily work assignment, types of industries, okay? So you're just going to simply use the Google Doc to complete the assignment. It's a very simple thing. You're going to click on one of these links. You can go to look up agriculture. You can go to look up retail. You can go to look up manufacturing, or you can go to look up the service industry. And you are simply going to choose one of these, whichever one looks interesting to you. Take a few minutes to read over it. Remember, if you need to break down that reading into smaller chunks, take a moment to absorb it and move on. And then you're going to answer these 4 questions, all right? You're just going to answer why is the industry important, some examples, etc. Okay? I would like for you to have 2 complete and complex sentences at least to answer these questions. You're always welcome to do more if you like, but 2 minimum is what I'm looking for. Finally, there is a Pre-AP GT extension. If you are a Pre-AP GT class, I would like for you to choose a second link and then explain how your 2 industries can work together. Well, Mr. Quinton, what does that all look like? Hey, what do you know? Got one here for you. So, for the more enterprising among you, you can certainly pause here so that you can get a kind of a good idea of how to answer these questions. Again, these are my answers. They are not designed to be your answers. You can use them as a jumping off point, but please don't copy them, all right? And it's okay if you agree with something that you see here. You can certainly say it in your own way. Just don't copy and paste. You can see here that I even have an answer for the GT extension to give you an idea of what we're looking for, okay? So that is what we have there. Once you get that done, make sure you get that submitted as well, all right? It is due at 11:59. It is daily work, but it is still important. So make sure you get that in. If you have any questions, send me that note in Schoology, send me that email. Other than that, I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Mr. Quinton, out.